What if Apple's next iPad Pro does not need a dramatic redesign to become one of the most powerful tablets ever made? What if the biggest changes are hidden inside the incredibly thin body, where a completely new generation of Apple silicon, improved artificial intelligence capabilities, better energy efficiency, and a new approach to thermal management could transform what this tablet is capable of doing? That is exactly why the rumored Apple iPad Pro M6 is so interesting. Apple is reportedly working on a new generation of high-end iPad Pro models that could arrive in 2027, with both 11-inch and 13-inch versions expected to remain part of the lineup. The current information points toward a possible spring 2027 launch window, although Apple has not officially confirmed the release date. And there is one important detail we need to make clear before looking at the rest of the story. The Apple iPad Pro M6 has not been officially announced. The processor, release timing, specifications, cooling system, pricing, and other details discussed in this video are based on reports and expectations. Apple could ultimately change some or all of these details before the product becomes official. But assuming the current reports are pointing in the right direction, the M6 iPad Pro could be one of Apple's most interesting tablet upgrades in years. The reason is simple. Apple has already pushed the iPad Pro hardware extremely far. The current generation is thin, lightweight, powerful, and built around processors that are capable of handling workloads traditionally associated with laptops. So Apple faces an interesting challenge with the M6 generation. How do you make an already powerful tablet meaningfully better? The answer may not be a completely new exterior. Instead, Apple could focus on the processor, artificial intelligence, efficiency, cooling, and the overall relationship between the hardware and iPadOS. Let's start with the processor, because this is obviously going to be the heart of the new iPad Pro. The rumored M6 chip could represent another major step in Apple's custom silicon strategy. The exact specifications are not confirmed, but the expectation is that the M6 would deliver higher processing performance and improved efficiency compared with previous Apple silicon generations. For Apple, this is important because the iPad Pro has to deliver desktop-class performance while operating inside a very thin tablet chassis. A traditional desktop computer has plenty of space for cooling. A large laptop has room for fans, heat pipes, and substantial battery capacity. An iPad has much less physical space. That makes processor efficiency extremely important. If Apple can increase performance while reducing power consumption, the M6 could potentially deliver more performance without requiring the iPad Pro to become dramatically thicker or heavier. This is where advanced semiconductor manufacturing becomes important. The reports surrounding Apple's future chips have pointed toward increasingly advanced manufacturing technology, including a potential 2nm class process. A move to a smaller process node can allow manufacturers to place more transistors into a smaller area. It can also potentially improve power efficiency while giving chip designers additional room to increase performance. For the M6 iPad Pro, this could mean a combination of higher performance and better energy efficiency. And that combination is much more important than simply increasing benchmark scores. Think about how people actually use an iPad. A professional video editor might spend hours working on a project. A 3D artist could render complex scenes. A developer might compile large projects. A photographer could work with high-resolution images. A musician could work with multiple audio tracks. A gamer could run demanding graphics for an extended period. In all of these situations, efficiency matters. You don't simply want a processor that can become extremely fast for a few seconds. You want a processor that can maintain strong performance over time. That brings us to one of the most interesting possible M6 iPad Pro upgrades: improved thermal management. The rumor of a vapor chamber cooling system could turn out to be one of the most practical improvements in the entire device. A tablet's thin design is one of its biggest advantages, but it is also one of its biggest engineering challenges. When a powerful processor is pushed continuously, it generates heat. In a thin, fanless device, that heat needs to be distributed and dissipated efficiently. If the temperature becomes too high, the system can reduce processor performance to protect the hardware. This is known as thermal throttling. For everyday activities, you probably never notice it. If you are browsing the web, reading an article, watching a movie, checking email, or taking notes, The processor is not being pushed hard enough for sustained heat to become a major concern. But professional workloads are